Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us here on the Noon News. I'm Samantha Sullivan. A redacted version of the long-awaited Mueller report is now public. CBS News is reviewing the more than 400-page report. So far, it reveals some of President Trump's reaction when he learned special counsel had been appointed. Natalie Brand has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Attorney General William Barr has released a public version of special counsel Robert Mueller's long-awaited report on Russian interference in 2016. According to the report, the president said, "This is the end of my presidency," when told that a special counsel had been appointed. Barr spoke this morning before releasing it.
We now know that the Russian operatives who perpetrated these schemes did not have the cooperation of President Trump or the Trump campaign.
Barr also concluded there was not enough evidence to establish that the president committed obstruction of justice. Mueller did not reach a conclusion on that question, and CBS News has learned the special counsel's team was split.
The White House fully cooperated with the special counsel's investigation, providing unfettered access to campaign and White House documents.
President Trump reacted to Barr's conclusions with a Game of Thrones-inspired tweet that says, "Game over."
I'm having a good day, too. It was called No Collusion, No Obstruction.
The Justice Department says it plans to provide a limited number of Congress members with a copy of the report with fewer redactions than the public version. But Democrats are not satisfied. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler is demanding to see the full report, saying this is about transparency and accountability.
It's outrageously irresponsible. It shows that the Attorney General is biased.
Democratic leaders are calling on Robert Mueller to publicly testify about the report's findings as soon as possible. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Now, Mueller's report is based on more than 2,800 subpoenas, nearly 500 search warrants, and approximately 500 witness interviews. Well, back here at home, we are following a developing story this afternoon. University of Montana police are investigating after a student reportedly brought a firearm into a residence hall and fired it out of a window. According to a press release sent out by the UM campus community, no injuries were reported and there was no damage beyond tears to the window screen in the room where the firearm was discharged from. UM Police Chief Marty Ludman says the student is facing criminal charges and disciplinary action as a result. Ludman says he does not believe there is an ongoing threat or safety concern for the campus community. Well, with the snowpack melting comes expectation for wildfire season. Earlier this month, the National Interagency Fire Center said this year's fire season will be about average for any significant wildfires through the month of July. But the agency also says to take predictions with a grain of salt because minor changes in our weather pattern could change everything very quickly. A 40% chance of above average precipitation could also result in more lightning strikes, which can also lead to out of control fires. As far as drought conditions around the state, experts saying water levels are good despite an unusual winter. The northwestern corner of the state is abnormally dry right now, but most of the state is currently not in a drought. Officials say February snowpack made up for a previous dry winter, but the winter was rough on calves, and spring melt could cause more of a problem. Well, now we'll have Rob joining us over in the Weather Center. And Rob, you're saying that it might be just a really nice weekend for Good Friday and Easter weekend.
Yeah, and a lot of people may be thinking about taking Friday off and making it a long weekend. That's pretty usual this time of year. And after all the winter we've had, I think that would be a very good idea if you're able to do it. Take a look at the state situation right now. Satellite and radar temperatures showing readings moving into the 50s and even the low 60s already. I'm just going to tell you straight up, it's going to be a gorgeous day across all of Montana. And right now, we're considerably warmer than we were 24 hours ago. A good 10 degrees warmer in places like Great Falls and Lewistown and Billings. 12 degrees warmer over in Williston, North Dakota. In the Billings area right now, as is typical for much of the state, west winds 8 miles an hour, 61 degrees. And we're going to take a complete look at the statewide storm tracker forecast in just a little bit. Samantha?
Well, just in from the legislature, a bill to approve and finance an extensive new Montana Historical Society museum was brought back to life this morning. The bill would raise the state lodging tax by 1 cent to help finance the long-standing $48 million project. The measure had been deadlocked in a House committee, but this morning the full House voted 64 to 36 to bring the bill to the floor, where it will be debated and likely passed. The State Historical Society has been trying for more than a decade to get legislative approval for the Helena project, which is called the Montana Heritage Center. It would be a much larger museum than the Society's current one, which can hold only portions of the Society's huge collections. The bill would also raise money for grants to upgrade local historical museums and sites all across the state. Well, also in Helena, lawmakers are running against a deadline to put final touches on a massive $10 billion state budget. A key element is something called a companion bill, where money and programs are stuffed into that bill at the last minute. Lawmakers placed 9 pages and $38 million of spending authority into the bill for programs in 24 other bills. Critics of the process say companion bills are used to insert spending or pet projects that didn't get approval in the regular legislative process. But some leaders insist the process is an open one.
In terms of transparency, I think this is actually an advance to the system. Back in the day, when just a couple people sat around after House Bill 2 had passed, and they had 2 piles of bills, ones that were in, ones that were out.
The session is scheduled to finish no later than May 1st, but could wrap up as early as next week. Well, a 20-year-long fight coming to a close for firefighters across the state. The Firefighter Protection Act will land on the governor's desk today. The governor has ordered all flags be lowered to half-staff across the state today in honor of all Montana firefighters who have lost their lives from a job-related illness or in the line of duty. Well, MTN is checking in on Montana's promise to collect and test rape kits in our state. It's a mission of the Montana Sexual Assault Task Force that's been years in the making. In a special report tonight on the Montana CW at 9 o'clock, MTN's Andrea Lutz takes an in-depth look at how Montana handles and investigates sexual assault allegations. Across the nation, there's been mounting concern for years over untested rape kits stacking up in evidence lockers all across our state. We'll have a look at the issue and examine what changes will be needed going forward as Montana's State Crime Lab in Missoula starts to see an increase in rape kits coming to their lab for testing. Again, that full story will air tonight at 9 o'clock on the CW. In other news, Beaverhead County is known for ranching, but soon it could be in the business of farming solar energy. A Boise-based company plans to build a 1,300-acre solar farm north of Dillon. The company will generate $18 million in property tax revenue for the county over the next 30 years. But currently, 2 local ranches have permits to graze cattle on that same property.
Everybody strives to get economic development, diversify your economy. That's going to be quite a process that I'm intrigued with, is to see the economic benefit to Beaverhead County.
The company has about 20 solar farms throughout the West. Construction could begin by 2020. Well, Montana continues to rally behind a Montana Highway Patrol trooper shot in the line of duty last month. Starting today, Montana Highway Patrol offices across the state will have bracelets available that say "Wade Strong" and "Keep Fighting." They're in honor of Trooper Wade Palmer, who remains in a Salt Lake City hospital. Those bracelets are available for a minimum donation of $5. The proceeds will go directly to the Palmer family, and the bracelets will be available until they sell out. Well, coming up here on the Noon News, Books and Beauty, a unique program at one Montana school encouraging kids to read. But first, Rob will join us after the break as we get a first peek at the weekend forecast. We'll be right back.
You're watching MTN News with Samantha Sullivan, Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and Farm and Ranch News from the Montana Ag Network. This is the Noon News on Q2, Montana's news leader.